2025. It is now 4:30. The meeting will begin. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence after?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Myricks. Cynthia, roll call, please.
Talmadge.
Here.
Kubaki.
Here.
Mosley Shelton.
Here.
Myricks.
Here.
Hawkridge.
Here, for the record, all 5 are present. Number 3 is declaration of conflict of interest. Okay, number 4 is communications.
Commissioners, we have received 2 communications since we last met. First one's from Lori Tubbs Development Consulting regarding an HRC parcel a client is interested in purchasing. And the second is an update from Cynthia regarding the next batch of HRC-owned residential parcels that have interest in building homes there. So I just respectfully ask you refer to staff.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Taylor, for the update. For the record, we did receive these and will be referred to staff then. All right, number 5 is our minutes dating June 3rd, 2025 and June 17th, 2025 minutes.
Mr. President, if there's no corrections to the minutes dated June 3rd, 2025 and June 17th, 2025, I make a motion to approve the minutes for the Hammond Redevelopment Commission.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Tolman, second by Commissioner Kubaki. That's minutes dating June 3rd, 2025 and June 17th, 2025. Let's have a roll call then, please.
Talmadge.
Yes.
Kubaki.
Yes.
Mosley Shelton.
Yes.
Myricks.
Yes.
Hawkridge.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes. I'm going to allow Attorney Westland to start opening the requests for item number 9 on the property, so when we get there, he'll have them ready. Okay, then number 6 is staff report. Ms. Taylor.
Thank you. I just have a couple items for updating since we last met. As you can see through the agendas in the past few weeks, we continue to have strong interest in our residential parcels that are available for purchase. We have, as a team, worked very hard to create procedures that streamline this process, going from interest to purchase. So that continues on. Memorial Park updates. We are working, continuously working, getting the site ready for redevelopment. Again, that is residential parcels for single-family homes, a larger parcel for senior housing, and smaller parcels for duplexes. Redevelopment is working closely with Dean Button and his team on environmental remediation and infrastructure build-out there, getting it all ready. Clark Field updates. Many of the homes have broken ground and are under roof there at Clark Field. Dave Westland and his team are working to get closing on the final parcels now. At this point, we have an average of about 10 to 15 that have closed, so we are getting that. In regards to the 2 highway interchange parcels in the 4th District, the addresses are 610 and 626, 177th Street. We are working on environmental reports now for the demolition of the building. The zoning has changed from C1, which is local commercial, to C4, which is general commercial, and that is more in line with what we would like to see there. And the land is now being transferred from City of Hammond to redevelopment to get that RFP out there. I'll keep you updated on that timing. And last up, the Gateway Station. Also working on that RFP for transit-oriented development. We're working on the final draft of that RFP now. We hope to see hundreds of new residential units there above, new commercial and retail along Gosselin and Homan Avenue there in the 2nd District. So I'll keep you updated on the timing there as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to then number 7, approval of resolution number 2025-09, a resolution of the Hammond Redevelopment Commission accepting the conveyance of real estate from the city of Hammond, Indiana by the Board of Public Works and Safety.
This is a resolution that is just transferring 7 different residential parcels from City of Hammond to the Redevelopment Commission for future sale to, for residential homes.
Okay.
Mr. President, if there are no further questions, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of resolution number 2025-9, a resolution of the Hammond Redevelopment Commission accepting the conveyance of real estate from the city of Hammond, Indiana by its Board of Public Works and Safety.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Shelton, I think second by Commissioner Kubaki. That's approval of resolution number 2025-9. Roll call, please.
Talmadge.
Yes.
Kubaki.
Yes.
Mosley Shelton.
Yes.
Myrick.
Yes.
Poppridge.
Yes, motion passes, 5 yes. Okay, number 8, approval of resolution number 2025-10, a resolution of the Hammond Redevelopment Commission accepting the conveyance of real estate from the city of Hammond, Indiana by its Board of Public Works and Safety for 600 177th Street and 626 177th Street.
Commissioners, similar to the resolution you just approved, this is another conveyance of parcels from City of Hammond to redevelopment for the 2 highway exchange parcels at 600 and 626 177th Street. We need to get it under our control for redevelopment.
Mr. President, there's no further questions or discussions. I'd like to make a motion for the approval of resolution number 2025-10, a resolution of the Hammond Redevelopment Commission accepting the conveyances of real estate from the city of Hammond, Indiana by its Board of Public Works and Safety for 600 177th Street and 626 177th Street.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Kubaki, second by Commissioner Tomage. That's the approval of resolution number 2025-10. Roll call, please.
Talmadge.
Yes.
Kubaki.
Yes.
Mosley Shelton.
Yes.
Myrick.
Yes.
Poppridge.
Yes, motion passes with 5 yes. Okay, brings us to number 9. That's the acceptance of requests for proposals for the sale of real estate for property commonly known as 3034 170th Street, 245 Conkey Street, 6624 Delaware Avenue, 6041 Columbia Avenue, 7035 Carolina Court, 905 Morris Street, 936-38 Highland Street, 4614 Cameron Avenue, and 1133 Moss Street. Do you need any extra time on this, Attorney Westland, to get it in order?
No, I don't. So, interesting. The first one that I opened is for a property that's not listed. It's for 1134 Moss Street. And the bid is from R2M Investment Properties, Michael.
Is it possible that's a typo? Maybe they meant
It
to type.
is, well, we're gonna have to look at this, but it's for $8,400.
Okay.
R2M Investments. But it says throughout 1134 Moss Street. It could be 1130, I don't know. We're gonna have to take a look at that one.
Yeah.
But
We'll look into that tomorrow, Dave.
Right.
for 1133 Moss Street, you have one response is from I am apologizing already because I'm never going to get this right. And he Jung. And the amount is $12,000. Then you have one for 936 through 938 Highland Street for $16,000 from Kim Miller and Woon Kim.
Okay.
I'm sure I butchered that one as well, I apologize. For the property at 4614, is that Cameron? Cameron Avenue. Again, this, the bid is for $12,000 and it is, and He Jung. You have a bid on 3034 Parish in the amount of $12,250 from Jorge Martinez and Eileen Martinez.
Did you say Parish?
It's not on there.
Not on here.
It says Parish Avenue property at the top, so 3034 170th.
Okay.
Got it.
For how much?
$12,250.
And who was that? The name on it, on that one?
Jorge and Eileen Martinez. Then 905 Morris Street. That's on there. The bid is for $13,100 and it is this R2M Investment Properties. 6624 Delaware Avenue, $11,850, R2M Investment Property. And finally, $6041 Columbia, Maurice Shelton, $5,500. That's all.
245 Conkey and 7035 Carolina. There were no bids.
That's correct.
Thank you, Dave.
And it looks like just kind of one bid per property too. Okay.
Unless that
Yeah, that other one.
1133 is.
More than likely it is, but we'll just, okay, then all we need is someone wants to entertain a motion that we accepted these, and then we'll still turn them over to staff.
Mr. President, I make a motion for the acceptance of requests for proposals for the sale of real estate for property commonly known as 3034 170th Street, 245 Conkey Street, 6624 Delaware Avenue, 6041 Columbia Avenue, 7035 Carolina Court, 905 Morris Street, 936 to 938 Highland Street, and 4614 Cameron Avenue, and 1133 Moss Street. With acceptance, do we have no bids to Conkey Street or Morris? I'm sorry, or what was the other one?
Carolina Court.
And Carolina Court.
Second?
Okay, a motion's been made by Commissioner Tomich, second by Commissioner Kabaki. The acceptance of these proposals, they will be referred to staff as the properties listed and read by Attorney Westland. Can we have a roll call then, please?
Tomich,
Yes.
Kubaki,
Yes.
Mosley Shelton,
Yes.
Myricks,
Yes.
Poppridge.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes. Thank you. All right. Brings us to number 10, approval of American Structure Point Incorporated change services authorization for Sportsplex facade lighting and paint upgrades. Welcome.
Good evening to the commission. Thank you for having me. So When the YMCA opened, and certain individuals from leadership drove by and saw how nice the YMCA looked under its illumination, there was some criticism about the current sportsplex prior to its renovation. And so I was asked to contact American Structure Point to see if they could help us with a design of lighting to the front of the sportsplex, and naturally we'd have to do some touch-up repainting of the old portion of the building just to make it match the new portion of the building. And so I'm here to present to you a change in services authorization from American Structure Point to do that design work in the amount of $16,800. They will do some mock-ups of the lighting, and they will put together plans, specifications for the purpose of bidding that work. My experience is bidding generally takes about $6,000 to $8,000 to do that, so it's a pretty reasonable price to do both the design and that work, and I would ask for your approval of this action, and I would take any questions you might have.
I don't have any questions, but Sportplex is very dark compared to the landscape.
Wonderful, thank you for your comment.
Yeah, that's the same comment I had. When the facade changed, the building being bumped out, naturally it's going to be a great addition, but it just kind of changed a little bit of scope. So I think this is a good thing to add this change order.
Great.
With that, Mr. President, if there's no further discussion on the questions, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of American Construction Point Incorporated, change in services authorization for sportsplex, facade, lighting, and paint upgrades.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Myrick, second by Commissioner Shelton. No further questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Talmadge,
Yes.
Kubaki,
Yes.
Mosley Shelton,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hopperidge.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes.
Thank you.
Okay, number 11 is an approval of change order number 4 with Grimmer Construction Incorporated for earthwork for Sportsplex expansion.
So the good news is this was considered in the budget. It was still part of funding that was set aside. There's no increase in the total contract amount. What we're doing is only increasing that portion of Grimmer's work to do the additional work for the sand volleyball courts. So a couple of years ago, the city created outdoor sand volleyball courts at the Sportsplex at the front of the building. While the renovation was going there, the sand volleyball courts moved to the back. What we didn't have in there in the proposal was we didn't anticipate the sand to be the surface sand to be gone, right? It's sort of the wind sort of transports it away, and so we're making up that difference. So we're only asking that you increase the Grimmer's contract amount, but the budget is still the $9,038,000 overall. There's no additional cost to the Redevelopment Commission for this change order, and I'd ask for your approval and answer any questions you might have. There's still funds available for other work. Yeah, I think we said that there was still $25,000 available for the sand volleyball court work. So we're under budget for that line item.
Now, is this an issue that'll happen annually, like next year? Is it a problem that's going to be?
It will be, yeah. They expect about 20% of 10 to 20% of sand loss per year. In this case, a lot more sand was missing from the first application. That could be for any number of reasons. I don't know if you know, but we had a contractor provide the sand in the original sand volleyball, and we used Public Works to distribute the work to create the sand volleyball court. So I'm not saying they did anything wrong, but we're short on sand. And it's the white sand that goes on top for play surface. So. No, I will tell you that there was so they stockpiled the sand in the parking lot on the west side of the Sportsplex and didn't cover it, and so they're responsible for any loss of that material during the time that they had to move the sand from one area to the other. Because I went out there on another matter and saw, you could see sand on the parking lot, that white play sand that had blown off the pile before. So it does transport pretty easily. The fence that goes around the outside of the sand volleyball courts does have a screen, like a fabric, over the top of the chain link fence, a vinyl coated chain link fence. So that helps to reduce that migration of sand, but I think it's still.
I was just going to
still
ask that,
potential
do you
for
have like
to
a
be there.
windscreen like I've seen in tennis courts?
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know why we lost so much sand in the first year and a half, but we're hoping that that doesn't continue, and we'll keep an eye on it.
Sure.
And that would be a maintenance issue. I'm not sure who ends up paying for that in the end. It may be the
Right.
Parks Department.
Probably need a little stockpile just to kind of refresh when you're a little low or something, especially a big tournament coming
Could
in
be
or something.
useful, yep. But this just covers the contract work, the capitalized work that you contracted to do.
All right, very good. Thank you, Dean.
You're welcome.
Mr. President, if there's no further discussion, any additional questions, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of change order number 4, with River Construction Incorporated for earthwork for the Sportsplex.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Marix. Is it seconded by Commissioner Tomage? That's the approval of change order number 4 with Grimmer Construction, Inc. for earthwork for Sportsplex expansion. Roll call, please.
Talmadge.
Yes.
Kubaki.
Yes.
Mosley Shelton.
Yes.
Myricks.
Yes.
Poppers.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes.
Thank you.
Okay, don't go away, we got one more here for you. Number 12 is an approval of change order number 2 with Woodruff and Sons Incorporated for underground detention for Sportsplex expansion.
Project that the Redevelopment Commission funded. This is a balancing change order. There were four items that accounted for this change order. The net effect of the balancing change order is a mere $222.85. So that increases the contract amount. Basically, there was some additional pipe that was added, and some additional pipe was removed, and there looks to be some under-drain work that was not necessary. So the net effect is $222.85. I ask for your approval, answer any questions you might have.
Mr. President, if there's no further questions or discussion, I would like to make a motion for the approval of change order number 2 with Woodruff and Sons, Inc. for the underground detention for Sportsplex expansion.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Kabaki, seconded by Commissioner Shelton. That's the approval of change order number 2 with Woodruff and Sons Incorporated for underground detention for Sportsplex expansion. Roll call, please.
Talmadge.
Yes.
Kubaki.
Yes.
Mosley Shelton.
Yes.
Myricks.
Yes.
Poppers.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes.
Thank you kindly. Nice to see you all.
Thank you,
Have a good
Dean.
night.
Thank you, City Engineer Dean Button. All right, number 13 is an approval of purchase of the VFW building. It's located at 6831 Kennedy Avenue.
Members of the commission, in your packet is the condemnation settlement agreement, which calls for the purchase of 6831 Kennedy Avenue for $160,000.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the purchase of the VFW building at 6831 Kennedy Avenue for a purchase price of $160,000.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Tomage, second by Commissioner Shelton. That's the approval of purchase of VFW building at 6831 Kennedy Avenue. Roll call.
Talmadge.
Yes.
Kubaki.
Yes.
Mosley Shelton.
Yes.
Myricks.
Yes.
Poppers.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes. Number 14 is approval of the condemnation settlement agreement.
So these properties are located in downtown Hammond near the downtown train station. The properties, most of which were necessary for the kiss and ride lot for the train station, which is why the city initiated condemnation in this instance. The 5 properties listed, we have agreed to a purchase price of $445,000. And I'll talk about number 15 as well. There's an agreement with the UEA where the UEA is basically funding the purchase of these 5 properties. And the last property on their 475 Fayette Street is a building. And so the agreement in 15 is the UEA will pay for the purchase of all 5 properties if that property that is the building is ever sold by the redevelopment commission, then that would be the proceeds of that sale could be used to reimburse the UEA for fronting the money to get all 5 properties.
In the future.
In the future, if and when that property is ever sold. And, you know, I can tell you, there's no imminent plans for it right now. We have nothing on the books, nothing cooking, so to speak, but we didn't need the other 4 properties that is owned by 1933 Garage LLC and Mr. Ferrantella for the Kiss and Ride lot, which is why you have the agreement in front of you. So I'd ask you to approve first on number 14, the condemnation settlement agreement, and then approve the agreement with the UEA to allow the UEA to fund that purchase on the terms of that agreement.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the condemnation settlement agreement.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Tomich, second by Commissioner Myrick. That's the approval of the condemnation settlement agreement. Let's get a roll call on that.
Talmadge,
Yes.
Kubaki.
Yes.
Mosley Shelton,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hopbridge.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes. So I'll just read 15. Like you said, we'll need an approval of that. Approval of intergovernmental agreement between the Urban Enterprise Association in Hammond, Indiana, and the Hammond Redevelopment Commission.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the intergovernmental agreement between the Urban Enterprise Association of Hammond, Indiana, and the Hammond Redevelopment Commission.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Tomich, second by Commissioner Kubaki. Roll call, please.
Talmadge,
Yes.
Kubaki.
Yes.
Mosley Shelton,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hopbridge.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes. All right, thank you, Attorney Westland, on that. Number 16 is our bills, register of claims.
Mr. President, if there's no questions about the register of claims for the redevelopment commission, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the claims dated dated R677264 through R7330, dated 6/6/25 and ending with claims dated 6/24/25.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Tomich, second by Commissioner Shelton. That's the register of claims dated for June 6, 2025 through June 24, 2025. Claim R67264 through claim R67330 inclusive. Is there any questions or concerns on these claims? Okay, then roll call, please.
Talmadge,
Yes.
Kubaki.
Yes.
Mosley Shelton,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hopbridge.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes. Okay, number 17, new and unfinished business.
None at this time.
Okay. Thank you. Number 18 is public comment. I will open up public comment now. Public comment is open. Public comment is open. If anybody would like to come speak, you may do so. Come forward. We'll give you 3 minutes. Okay, then public comment is closed. Public comment is closed. Public comment is closed. Can we get a number 19?
Mr. President, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can you all signify by aye?
Aye.
Aye.